Are you having a hard time editing your videos and presentations? Do you find it hard to master complex video editing tools? Well, worry no more. Today, I will introduce to you a simple and easy to use video editing software. I'm Dave and I'll be teaching you Filmora. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to familiarize yourself with the layout of Filmora, understood and used its basic functions, created a simple video output that contains Filmora elements, and appreciated the ease of using Filmora. Welcome to this tutorial, and today I'm going to walk you through with how to use Filmora. First, we need to download the software by going to filmora.wondershare.net. On the website, simply click Try it for free to download the installer. I have already downloaded it, and all I have to do is to run the application. Just follow the simple instructions. Click Next. And then wait for the program to be properly installed. This will take quite a while. The installation is now done. All we need to do is launch the application. Now that we have successfully installed Filmora, let us familiarize ourselves with its dashboard. This is the media library. This is where all your source files will be located. This is the preview window. As the name implies, it offers a preview of the project that you are currently working on. You will be looking at this window most of the time, since this will give you the idea of how your project is developing. This is the toolbar. Provides easy and quick access to basic editing tools. Functions like cut, crop, and speed adjust can be accessed here. Finally, the timeline. This is where you assemble all your media files. Majority of your video editing work will be spent in this part of the window. Before we can start editing our video, we first need to import raw files. These are the files we need in order to assemble our final output. These are the files that you shoot from your camera or your smartphone, and it could also refer to audio files, pictures, and any elements that you need for your final output. For this tutorial, I have already prepared the raw files that I need. All I have to do is import them into Filmora. To import these raw files, all you have to do is select all of them and then drag them into the media library. There you have it. All the raw files that I need for this project are already imported. Before we start assembling our final output, I want to share with you what that output will look like. This is what our final output will be.
Do you want to create stunning class presentations and lecture videos? Our module covers worksheets, and other graphic designs that will surely stand out? I'm sure you do. Hi, I'm Miss Pauline, and today we will discover the magic of Canva. At the end of this video lesson, you must have familiarized Canva's user interface, created graphic designs and presentations, and lastly, appreciated the ease of using Canva's design templates. This training lesson is brought to you by ISCOF Cares.
Now that we have an idea of what our final output will look like, let's start assembling it. First, drag the intro into the timeline. Filmora usually asks what resolution or frame rate you want your final output will be. This usually happens if your final output setting and your raw file does not match. In my case, and as a rule of the thumb, I usually use keep project settings. There you have it. We have successfully added the intro clip into our timeline. Just to make sure that it's working, you can actually see it in our preview window. Let's try playing it. Great, we're on our way. Let's start adding other elements. Let us now add our second clip. All you have to do is drag and drop it into the timeline. There you have it. Navigating through the timeline is relatively easy. All you have to do is use this navigation tool, which you can drag for us to be able to navigate through our timeline. If you'll notice, I can easily navigate through whatever it is added in the timeline. This is a very useful tool, especially when you are working through a lot of clips. Now that we have 2 clips in our timeline, I'll try to play our progress so far. This will just be a very short clip, and pay attention to the preview window.
Do you want to create stunning class presentations and lecture videos?
If you'll notice, the second clip still has a blue background, whereas on our final output, it shows the ISCOF Cares background. In order to fix that, I will introduce you to a very powerful tool called Chroma Key. Chroma Key is also known as green screen. To access that feature in Filmora, right-click on the clip and select green screen. The green screen window will then appear. When using this feature, it is important that your background is a solid color. In our case, it is the color blue. Click the dropper right next to the color and then click it on the background. This will delete all the background colors. Now, all that is missing is to add the ISCOF Cares background in our timeline. Drag and drop the ISCOF Cares logo into the timeline and make sure that it is on the lower layer in order for it to serve as a background. There you have it. We now have the ISCOF Cares logo as our background. We have successfully did so using the green screen or chroma key feature. What we need to do next is to just drag this out in order for it to encompass the whole clip. Let me play our progress so far.
Do you want to create stunning class presentations and lecture videos? Or module covers, worksheets, and other graphic designs that will surely stand out? I'm sure you do. Hi, I'm Miss Pauline, and today we will discover the magic of Canva.
Great, we're progressing. What we need to do next is to add the second clip. Just like what we did with the first one, all we need to do is right click on it, select green screen, select the dropper, and then select the background. Now that the background is deleted, let's just stretch out the background, the ISCOF Cares background, in order to encompass it. Now we have two clips completely with a ISCOF Cares background. We're doing great. The only thing missing now in our timeline is the outro. Let's try to add it. Just like the last three clips, all you have to do is drag and drop it into our timeline. Alright, and we're almost done. We have our intro, the two clips, and then our outro. We have also added our background, which can be seen in this clip. On our final output, our subject is located on the left side of the screen. For us to do so, all we have to do is click the clip and then drag it to the location that we want. There you have it. It's already on the left. We need to do the same thing into our second clip, which is this one. We need to make sure that they are on the same location. Now that we have assembled all of our needed clips, let's try to check our progress so far. Pay attention to the preview window.
Do you want to create stunning class presentations and lecture videos? Or module covers, worksheets, and other graphic designs that will surely stand out? I'm sure you do. Hi, I'm Miss Pauline, and today we will discover the magic of Canva. At the end of this video lesson, Sorry, Sala ko. The one.
Oops, it appears that we have some sort of bloopers from one of our clips. In order to fix that, I will again introduce you into a very powerful tool, and that is the cutting tool. What we need to do at this point of time is to delete that particular bloopers, which happens to be here.
At the end of this video lesson, Sorry, Sala ko.
The most important thing to remember when cutting a clip is to determine its starting and end point. For us to be able to do so, let us zoom in into our timeline. We can do so by clicking this plus button. Let's try to look for the end point of that blooper clip.
Sorry, Sala ko. The one.
Now that we have determined the end point of that blooper clip, we need to determine the starting point of our second clip. Let's start by playing this video.
One. At the end of this
Alright, so the blooper ends here,
one.
and then the new clip will supposed to start at this point.
At the end of this
Let's try to cut the blooper video or the blooper part of the video. To do so, just locate the navigation tool into that part select the clip, and then click this pair of scissors in order to set the point. After that, select the clip that you want to delete, right click, and then delete. You can also use your keyboard by simply pressing the delete button. Alright, let's check our progress so far. In order to save time, I will just play from the part where the blooper was supposed to be in order to check if it was properly deleted. Let's try to play that clip.
And today, we will discover the magic of Canva. At the end of this video lesson, you must have familiarized Canva's user interface, created graphic designs and presentations, and lastly, appreciated the ease of using Canva's design templates. This training lesson is brought to you by ISCOF Cares.
Alright, it appears to be that the blooper part of the clip was successfully deleted. And now, let's continue with this project. Let me jump into this particular part of our clip.
You do. Hi, I'm Miss Pauline, and today we will discover the magic of Canva.
Notice that our subject uses her hand in order to gesture something.
Canva.
It would be most appropriate if we put something in there for it to be able to properly show what she truly wants to say. What we need to do at this point of time is to drag another element into our timeline. This time, we're going to add a photo or an image. The image that we will be adding into our timeline will be that of the Canva logo. Simply drag and drop it into the timeline, and there it is. What we need to do at this point is just to resize it. Alright. And then place it right on top of our hand. The next thing we want to do is to make sure that the Canva logo appears right when our subject says so. So let us check or double check our timeline. This will take a couple of times and usually takes trial and error. So bear with me at this point.
Miss Pauline, and today we will discover the magic of Canva.
Alright, it appears that we have actually placed the logo at exactly the same time when our subject says so. Let's try to continue.
At the end of this video,
Alright, now the problem is the Canva logo encompasses the next clip. So what we need to do is to make sure that we shorten the timeline of the Canva logo in such a way that it will not encompass the next clip. So let's play it again.
Canva.
There you have it. That is the last frame where our subject says Canva. So at this point of time, the Canva logo should disappear. To do so, we just need to reduce its duration by dragging this right at the point where our subject says so. Alright, let's check it out again.
Magic of Canva.
Okay, so let's try to have a little more magic in here and bear with me.
The magic of of Canva.
Okay, so it appears that the Canva logo is properly placed and it does not encompass the next clip. So far, our progress seems to be good. Let's continue with our clip and make sure that everything is in order.
At the end of this video lesson, you must have familiarized Canva's user interface.
Okay, so there we have it again. Our subject, once again, reached out her hand and gestured something. It would be more appropriate if he put something in here. And to do that, I'm going to introduce you to another feature of Filmora. This one is called Titles. Just click the Titles button on top and then select one. Let's select the most simple of them all. Just like the clips that we did a while ago, simply click and drag it into our timeline. Alright, we now have a title. So what we need to do is to find out what exactly our subject is gesturing or saying, and then put the text on the title. So let's run over the clip once again.
Canva's user interface. Familiarized Canvas. You must have familiarized Canvas user interface.
Our subject says that we need familiarized Canvas user interface. Let's type that out. So what we need to do is just place this right in the place on top of our subject's hand. Add a couple of edits. To keep things simple, we'll just use the default font style. So let's resize this. Okay, it appears that we're doing good. Let's try to check our timeline again. Again, this takes a lot of patience and a lot of trial and error.
Canvas user interface.
What we need to do now is to look or find the exact point in the frame or the exact point in the clip where our subject gestures her hand and says the text that we type.
You must have familiar.
Okay, this appears to be the point. So what we need to do is just click our text element and drag it into the particular timeline. Again, trial and error, doing it over and over again until we have perfected it.
Have familiarized Canvas user interface. Created graphic design.
Okay, so the starting point appears to be fine.
Familiarized Canvas user interface. You must have familiarized Canvas user interface. Created graphic design.
Okay, just like the Canva logo a while ago, the text that we added appears long enough to encompass another gesture. So what we need to do is to shorten that by finding the endpoint of where it's supposed to disappear.
Canvas user interface.
Okay, so this is actually the point. So drag it back, play it again.
Familiarized Canvas user interface. Created graphic.
Okay, our subject once again gestures to offer another text or another option. So to simplify everything, what we need to do is just click this text element, copy it, and then paste it here. Okay, so
Created graphic
all we need to
designs
do is just edit this text. Bear with me at this point. Alright, so everything seems to be working fine. Let's double check it.
Tab, familiarized Canvas user interface, created graphic designs and presentations, and lastly, appreciated the ease of using Canvas design templates.
Alright, so a little more adjustment.
Lastly, appreciated the ease of using Canvas design templates. Appreciated the ease of using Canvas design templates. This training lesson is brought to you by ISCOF Cares.
Okay, at this point in time, our subject mentions ISCOF Cares. So I think it would be appropriate if we can add the ISCOF Cares logo, which we have right here. Again, we can do so by simply drag and drop it right on the timeline, and it will instantly appear on our preview window. So again, this will just be a matter of trial and error in order to find the proper frame or the proper time where the logo will appear.
This training lesson is brought to you by ISCOF Cares.
Okay, so at this point this is actually the point where the subject, our subject, says ISCOF Cares. So let's put that logo right on that duration.
By ISCOF Cares.
Okay, so since the ISCOF Cares logo seems to be so big, let's just try to resize it. Okay. Double check it again.
This training lesson is brought to you by ISCOF Cares.
Okay, so let's try to adjust it one more time. Alright, so everything seems to be working fine. Again, this takes a lot of trial and error, and you will be doing this hundreds if not thousands of times over and over again. Alright, so everything appears to be quite fine. It just needs a little more finishing touches. Speaking of finishing touches, I will be introducing you to another element of the Filmora software. First, take a look at the preview window and notice how this clip transitions to another. Notice that from the yellow screen, it transitions directly into the clip which features our subject. Okay, so at this particular point, it directly transitions without any animation or transition animation. So in order to make the transition seamless, let's add a transition element into these two clips. What we need to do now is just click the transition button on top and then select what kind of transition we want. To keep everything simple, we'll just use the first one. Click and drag it into the timeline. Position it right between where the two clips joins. And there we go. Notice the change. Isn't that much better? Let's try to play it again. Okay, so I think what we need to do is just do this same thing into the rest of our clips. Okay, that seems to be good. Transition animation is not only applicable to clips or video clips, we can also apply it to our images as well as our text. So let's do this here. Notice the Canva logo. Canva automatically appears like it was magically stamped in there. So to make it seamless, let's let's add the dissolve transition. I'm putting two transitions for this particular clip because the first transition will be its intro. This is the intro, and then the second transition will be its outro. Let's just adjust the duration a little bit and then play it again.
Canva.
Good. Isn't it good? So let's try to do that with our text. Alright, so everything seems to be in order. Okay, so all of our timeline seems to be working fine. We have added clips, videos, transitions, text, backgrounds. At this point in time, I'm going to disable the background music because we are going to add an audio element into our project. Okay, so from the start, we actually imported an audio file, this one. So all we have to do is to add it into our timeline, and just remember that the audio timeline is located at the very bottom layer, so you won't have any problem locating it. So just drag and drop it. Okay, if you'll notice at the very bottom we have the audio file timeline, which is quite long, and if you'll notice that wave, that is actually the volume. So the volume is quite loud. I'll try to play a couple of seconds of it just to give you an idea. Okay, so it sounds quite nice. So let's just add some finishing touches into our audio. First and foremost, let's lower the volume down. Lowering the volume is very easy. Just if you see this little bar, just click and drag it down to lower the volume, or click and drag it up to increase the volume. So let's lower it down to this point where it will serve just as a little background. Let's try to play it if it's appropriate. Okay, it sounds nice. That sounds very nice. So let's lower it down a little bit more. And the most important thing to remember here is to make sure that this audio file that we added does not interfere with the speech or the audio of our subject right about here. So again, trial and error. Let's try to check it.
Do you want to create stunning class presentations and lecture videos?
Okay, so it sounds about very nice at this point. Just needs a little more tweaking. Let's try to do it again.
Do you want to create stunning class presentations and lecture videos? Or module covers, worksheets?
Alright, so it looks nice, it sounds nice, and let's try to finish everything up in order to have our final output. Just notice that our audio file is a little bit long, so what we need to do is just cut this. So click in here, look for that scissors button, drag it down to that layer, the audio layer, and then click it and delete. Also the background, let's delete this. Delete. Okay, so I think we have everything in order. Let's try to have a little bit of preview and let's see what we have done so far.
Do you want to create stunning class presentations and lecture videos? Our module covers, worksheets, and other graphic designs that will surely stand out? I'm sure you do. Hi, I'm Miss Pauline, and today we will discover the magic of Canva. At the end of this video lesson, you must have familiarized Canva's user interface, created graphic designs and presentations, and lastly, appreciated the ease of using Canva's design templates. This training lesson is brought to you by ISCOF Cares.
Alright, so that looks nice and sounds nice to me. So let me just wrap things up. In order to finalize our project, since this is still in Filmora file, what we need to do is to export this or render this file into an actual video. So to do that, just click export and then type your file name. Let's call our file name ISCOF Cares. Make sure that everything is in order. Always remember the directory where you will save your output, the resolution, the frame rate, as well as the duration. So now I will export our project, and this will take quite some time. According to the duration, it will take around a minute and 20 seconds. So let's set this one out. Alright, so now that the rendering is done, to look for our final output, just click Find Target. Okay, there we have it, the ISCOF Cares output. So we have finally rendered our project. Let's open this. This is actually a video file. Let me just close Filmora first, and then play the output. Okay, so we actually have it.
Do you want to create stunning class presentations and lecture videos? Our module covers, worksheets, and other graphic designs that will surely stand out? I'm sure you do. Hi, I'm Miss Pauline, and today we will discover the magic of Canva. At the end of this video lesson, you must have familiarized Canva's user interface, created graphic designs and presentations, and lastly, appreciated the ease of using Canva's design templates. This training lesson is brought to you by ISCOF Cares.
Okay, so there you have it. This is the end of our tutorial. I hope I have imparted a lot of knowledge to all of you, and good luck. Now that we're done, let us test what you have learned. Create an output that contains basic Filmora elements. Make sure to add video, audio, transition, text, and effects to your output. Export your project and share it to our Google Classroom. Good luck! And